Let's do a satisfying art meditation. The other day, I posted a video where I made this, and I really like these shapes with the colored stripes, as you see. So I want to do that, but with a neurographic style. I like to begin by making some flowy lines on the paper with a pencil. And then I color in the shapes. Now, I'm going to do that striped patterning inside my shapes here. So ultimately, I'll go back and outline this to make the neurographic style art as well. But first, I want to enjoy some coloring and intentional pattern making with just simple stripes. So I am surrounded by my paint pens. I have my Posca paint pens and my Sharpie Creative Markers. Both are acrylic paint pens, and I'm just picking colors at random and adding some stripes throughout the paper. And you can eye a sense of balance. You can let this just be completely intuitive or random. So this part of the process, I like to slow down my thoughts as I get more present with the coloring. And in a way, there's this sense of containment when I'm coloring in the stripes instead of coloring in the full shapes. So the best way for me to explain what this does for me, it sort of heightens my sense of focus, my sense of awareness. There's more concentration here. And I dropped into a nice flow state here. So take your time with the coloring. From start to finish, this art meditation took me about an hour, and the coloring portion took about 30 minutes. So you can do this all in one sitting, or you could break it up over a few days. And your art meditation should be enjoyable, should be relaxing for you. This is a great time to let go of color theory and don't worry about what colors look good next to each other. Just pick one and go with it. You can learn to kind of trust your intuition with a process like this. Now you can see we're almost done with the coloring here. I actually love how this looks. You could totally take the tape off at this point, or if you're doing it in a sketchbook, call it done with just these different shapes colored in and the stripes kind of, going in different directions. This feels really good to me. I'm going to go ahead and outline my shapes. So I'm going to take my Sharpie Creative Marker in black. This is the bullet tip. And I'm going to trace over where those pencil lines were, ultimately outlining the shapes. And because of the way I'm positioned, where I'm sitting and where my hand is, I couldn't see the full paper. So I'm taking this very slow so that I'm actually tracing over the pencil line. So I had to lift up my hand in different portions rather than do one smooth line across the paper. And I point that out just to give you permission to slow down, do this whatever way works for you best, from a technical aspect, but also, and more importantly, just from that kind of mindfulness, mental aspect. What makes this really easy for you? There's this sense of satisfaction that comes with tracing these shapes, seeing those black lines come through. It's a good time to check in and be present. Where are your thoughts? Have you been thinking about what happened yesterday, what you have to do today? Or are you here in the present moment? It can help to lengthen your breath, during this part of the process. Pay attention to any sensations that you're feeling, maybe you're hearing, even smells. Could be from the art supplies you're using or just what's happening in the room, the space around you. Now we could leave it just like this with the shapes outlined in a simple thin line. I'm going to go ahead and do the neurographic style here. So I am taking that same Sharpie Creative Marker, and now I'm going to again trace over these black lines and round out all the edges. So anywhere there's an intersection of lines, I'm going to round those out. These lines will start to thicken. And this part is really satisfying. I'm definitely in a flow state at this part of the process. And this is the part that is called neurographic. The neurographic art technique. And this took me about 20 minutes total to outline all of these shapes again and round out the edges. So take your time. This is a great opportunity to bring some stillness into your practice, stillness of mind as your hand moves across the paper. It's really satisfying to see this neurographic technique kind of bring all the shapes together and create that organic looking cohesiveness. So that is our neurographic art meditation for the day. I'm going to enjoy peeling off this tape. I love seeing the clean edges. That's why I tape these down. You can certainly do this in a sketchbook. When I do this in a sketchbook, I often tape the edges of my sketchbook paper because I love the act of peeling off the tape. And here's our final art meditation result. I think this is beautiful. It felt so good and satisfying. You can see some of those metallics coming through. I love this. I'll be doing this one again. As always, thanks for watching.